Rebecca Cano, and I will be presenting my long-term final project for the Alliance Consulting Group, where we will present 2 projects for global expansion and Mexican market introduction. The mission of our company is to work directly with our clients, employing the best technology to increase our clients' productivity and business management with a top-class employee force. The vision of our business is to keep working and innovating as a top-class consulting group all across the globe, helping our clients to develop new business no matter what the circumstances. Our service focuses on management restructuring, global expansion, business management, and performance through data. We employ many technologies and software development, identifying unattended segments and also innovating new ways to manage a business. Mexico's current business environment is constantly changing because of many factors. My partner will now explain some of the factors that involve in this change. Mexico's current business environment is constantly changing because of many factors. My partner will now explain some of the factors that involve in this change.
My name is Mayra Murillo, and I'm going to talk about the Mexican political system. Mexican and United States are democratic and federal and secular nation, with the Congress system is divided into 3 branches: legislative, executive, and judicial. Mexico nowadays has a serious corruption problem. Transparency International gave Mexico a score of 35 out of 100 in the perception of corruption. This score drops Mexico to position in 103 out of 175. In transparency terms, this organization has given a score of 52 out of 100, meaning that is a country that available information related to the political system is low. Mexico government is working on reforms to reduce the corruption status and improve the transparency of the system, allowing the public population to take part in the national budget decision-making progress.
System and government regulations. Main topics of the regulations made in the last 2012 and beginnings of 2013 were increasing the efficiency for getting electricity, facilitating the trading across borders, facilitating business activity by local entrepreneurs, and implementing electronic systems to the files and pay taxes system. Foreign direct investments. Mexico's main trade partners are the US, who takes part of at 64%, China 9%, and the European Union 8.1%. Last year, Mexico received a foreign trade investment of $5.2 billion. How is the Mexican peso doing? It is expected that the Mexican peso will face a rough year due to many factors as the coming up elections and also the tension between the countries across the globe. It could depreciate along the year from 23.5 to 35 to the dollar. As for the Mexico's culture, some of the main points when making business are that punctuality is not rigid due to the cultural emphasis on the personal life. Good manners and politeness are important. Mexicans may deal with friends, which is why it's important to focus on the development of good relationships. Business is done in person, and relationships come first. Negotiations usually tend to move slowly. Environmental regulations. Some of the main regulations that most companies have to work with in Mexico are the Federal Law on Environment Liability, the Law of Dumping Mexican Marine Areas, and the Law of the National Agency of Industrial Security and Environmental Protection for the hydrocarbon sector. As for employment practice, it's important that most companies keep an eye on the international compliance practices and U.S. Foreign Corrupt Practice Act knowledge, and also the federal labor law, which protects the employees that work on any company inside the country. As for trade policy details, Mexico was recognized by the World Trade Organization and was recommended to capitalize its preferential state agreements and focus on differentiate the trading partners that has already joined the plurilateral agreements on information technology, government procurement, and trade in civil aircraft, Also, to further reduce the tariffs to facilitate trading across border and the development of new businesses. The free trade agreements that currently has are 10 free trade agreements with 45 countries, 32 reciprocal investment promotion and protection agreements with 33 countries, 9 trade agreements of economic complementation and partial scope agreements within the framework of the Latin American Integration Association. As for the free trade agreements that it currently has are 10 free trade agreements with 45 countries, 32 reciprocal investment promotion and protection agreements with 33 countries, 9 trade agreements of economic complementation and partial scope agreements within the framework of the Latin American Integration Association, and is also a member of the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement. Now we will focus on the strategies for the expansion of the businesses that we'll be working with. Helados Regia is a small shop that started in Mexico City in 1959. From then, it has grown to a full-grown company with small shops all across the globe and kiosks on mall shops. The strategy that we recommend for this business is a franchising because it avoids many of the costs that incur on opening up in a foreign market. Also, we can still gain from the selling of the branch to the people that decide to open these stores on other countries, and all, but at the same time we keep the nature of our business. As for the Oishi Co. Company, a candy company centered in Japan, we recommend a strategy in two phases, a short term and a long term. As for the short term, we focus on exports to supermarkets that have an international range like H-E-B and mini markets like 7-Eleven and candy stores of the most developed cities within the country that we will be entering. This way, we can at the same time study the conduct of the market and identify the cities that we will be focusing on the future. On the long term, using an organic growth strategy to use the company's own resources to establish small stores on the cities where mall sales are registered on the long run. This way, we will avoid making debt and use our own gains to grow internationally. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thanks for your attention.